Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Cat Vlog. Yesterday, Cole, one of our dogs, wasn't very well, and so I took him to the vet. When I took him to the vet, it was an opportunity to take the 3 kittens we've got, so that's Dash, Chubs and Cali, to get their first shots, so their first vaccinations. And so we did that yesterday. But before you see that video footage, I quickly wanted to introduce to you the 3 kittens properly and tell you a little bit about them. So, where's one when you need one? Come here. Then now, oh, there's one right there. Okay. So, he's not going to behave himself. He's definitely not going to behave himself. Okay. So, this is Chubs. Chubs was found with his 3 other siblings on the side of the street one day. So, I take the dogs for an early walk here in Chilandak. And I came across a cardboard box, which had been turned over. One of the kittens was crawling along the ground on the side of the road. The other 3 were screaming inside the box, obviously very hungry. When I went over and had a look at them, they all had their eyes closed. We're guessing they couldn't be more than a day old. And so we see it a lot here in Jakarta. Their mum gives birth and they're separated from their mums, put in a box, put in a bag, and put somewhere away from the house. To either be found, which in this case these guys were, or to die, which isn't very nice. So these guys, I picked them up. I had 5 dogs with me, so what I did was I walked home. I spoke to Lindsay, because looking after these guys is a huge responsibility, about whether I should pick them up, whether we can nurse them, whether we can find them homes. I got in the car, I made a decision. I got in the car and drove and picked them up, all 4 of them. Now, not only is it a financial decision to look after the cats, it really is a time decision as well, because what with them only being a day old, it means they have to be fed constantly, and so that means constantly warming up milk, kitten milk, and feeding them every 1 to 2 hours to start with, and that's all through the night as well. So it's a huge time commitment. And both Lindsay and I work, and so making that choice, we realised what we were going to let ourselves in for. This one's Cali. Hey, Cali. Oh. Okay, you're beautiful. So there was 4 of them to start with, and I should show you a photograph somewhere now. And from the 4, there were 3 boys and 1 girl. This is the girl. So there was 3 boys and 1 girl. And over the course of, I'm not sure how many weeks it was, 2 of them passed away. The 2 that passed away, the first one that passed away, he was very deformed. His back legs weren't in the correct position, and his skin was really weird over it, and so even if he'd lived, I don't think he would have had much of a life. But it's always quite horrible to see the kittens die, and this one died whilst we're constantly trying to feed it. Then it gave up and just stopped feeding and passed away. Before that happened, we had taken him to the vets numerous times, so it wasn't just us making that decision, we took them to the vets a few times for them to be the ones that weren't eating to be force fed. Anyway, so the first one passed away, which was very sad, and then the second one stopped eating again, and we thought, here we go again. So we force fed it, but as you'll see from the photographs I'm going to show you in a minute, it didn't grow anymore. So whilst Chubs and Cali carried on growing and got bigger and bigger and bigger, Stubbs, as he was called, stayed. It didn't grow anymore. Just didn't grow, and you'll see from the photographs that he stayed tiny. And then, very similar to how his brother passed away, he just stopped eating. He must have had something wrong with his throat, because he found eating anything remotely not mashed really difficult. And once again, he passed away. He stopped eating. He passed away. And like I say, it's always really sad when that happens. And so we're left with two. So this is Chubs, because he was huge. He ate everything when they were tiny little kittens. So this is Chubs. And we've got Cali, because she's calico in colour, sitting behind me. So that's their story. We've also got another kitten which we weren't meaning to take in, called Dash. Oh, this is little Dash. So how did we get hold of Dash? So, going to work one day, little kitten runs out in front of the car in front. Car in front, carries on driving, and runs over Dash. Runs over one of his back feet. We didn't know what to do. He was flipping around, rolling around in the street, obviously in a lot of pain. So I made Lindsay quickly get out the car, quickly go and grab him, bring him. He was feral at this point, but very small. So we quickly collected him, picked him up, put him in a bag. I snuck him into work just for the day, and with the idea that we were going to release him. We were just going to check on him very quickly to make sure his little leg wasn't broken, and we were going to release him again. But then it looked like he had a little bit of a limp, so the plan was to keep him in the front garden, keep an eye on him, try to keep him safe for the good, not to bring him inside. But he turned out to be a really lovely cat, not particularly cuddling right now, but he does really like a cuddle, and so we eventually moved him into the study with Chubs and Cali. He's a little younger, but yeah, the three of them seem to get on really well, and thus we have 3 kittens. So that's their story. Okay, that's an introduction to these guys. I'm going to put a little bit more video footage of them at the end, I think. Yeah, I'll put a little bit more video footage of them at the end. Yesterday they went for their shots, so we'll get to see that little trip with them to the vets. I hope you enjoy. Bye for now. Okay, and getting the kittens ready to go to the vets, I'm going to put some pee pads in the bottom of their cat boxes. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of paper and a marker, and I'm going to put their names on top of the boxes. So when I leave them at the vets will know who they are, and when they make out their vaccination books, they'll have the correct names on the vaccination books. Okay, so I'm in the car now. We're heading towards the vets. 3 cats are in the boot. Cole is next to me in the car. You may have noticed, you may ask him why have I got 2 cats in one cage or crate. That's easy. I've only got 2 hands plus a dog. They're brother and sister. They should just get on fine. They're quite small, big cat carrier. So I've got 2 in one and I've got Dash in the other. Convenience really. They'll be fine. And we're taking Cole, rushing Cole to the vets because of his explosive diarrhea and being sick, and I'm hoping he doesn't do it in the car. So anyway, we're off to the vets. Oh, I should also point out that I also have a specimen for Cole right here, lovely, that I picked off the bedroom floor this morning, and so all of that is going to the vets to be tested to see if he's got a parasite living inside him or something like that, which is kind of what I'm guessing it is. Okay, see you soon. July 3rd, lockdown begins, where they're going to stop the movement of traffic, people going into work, but today you would never have guessed it's Jakarta is normal, super busy. So we're here, so I'm just going to leave Cole quickly in the car. I'm not going to leave him very long, but I can't go into the cat section and drop the cats off with Cole with me. So, thank you, Cole. I'm just going to leave him in the car, probably be no more than 2 minutes, and then I'll come back and collect Cole. Okay, Cole, you can stay. Be a good boy. Okay, so we've just come out of the vets. Cole's very agitated, which is not like him, but he's been diagnosed with having some parasites inside him, so I got some deworming stuff, something he has to take every 2 weeks to be dewormed. Let's hope he feels better soon. I've got also some stuff to help with his diarrhea and vomit. He also had 2 injections to control his diarrhea and vomit. So yeah, that's Cole. The kittens, the 3 kittens, they're all super healthy. They had their first vaccinations today. They got their vaccination booklets, so they've got their first vaccinations. So that's really good. So in a week's time, hopefully we'll be able to move the 3 of them into the main cat room, and so they can go outside onto the catio. So that's a real positive as well. Okay. Okay, so the kittens are now back in the study. We've got to keep them in here for about a week, and then we can transfer them across into the main cat room. And in a month's time, they go back to the vets to get their second vaccination.